so many things we can fall foul of as a council.
Yes, and it's our duty to make sure we don't fall foul of them.
Yes, because we don't just have the normal regulations that are passed down by Welsh Government or given to us by One Voice Wales, but we have our own standing orders as well that we
Yeah,
have to abide by. This is policies of how a motion is brought through and voted on or discussed, to a media policy of what we can put on websites, what we can broadcast and things like that.
yeah.
And it's not just one little page with a couple of points on it. It's pages and pages of stuff.
Oh yes, we're redrawing ours up now.
Which they should be reviewed every couple of years as it is,
It
because
should. Well,
times change.
we're reviewing them now so we can put them ready for the next term, because we're duty
Yeah.
bound now to deliver the best council for the incoming councillors.
Yeah.
As I say, some of us may think we're going to be one of them. It's not our decision. So
Right. We are running very long on this one, and I'm
yes, we are.
sure we could go on all night. Very quickly,
Yeah,
you stood for Senedd,
yeah.
and you did extremely well, 3,000 votes.
3,056, I think it was,
So
or 340 something, 3,040 something, I think.
So that's a jump of 3,046% on your last,
It
which
is.
you did do.
Exactly.
Is one of the most successful independent candidate for share of votes in Wales as well. So congratulations, well done on that and hard work. And I watched most of your videos walking around, speaking to different people, Steve, Martin, and
Yeah,
Amanda.
I genuinely enjoyed those. The first couple were weird, but once you get past the weirdness, it was. Look, this was a campaign that we're never going to see again. And it's something that I raised. At the start, I wasn't even allowed to put leaflets through doors.
No.
We've got to. COVID was a very strange time, and we misremember a lot of it back. When I had filed my papers and I was officially a candidate, I wasn't even allowed to put a leaflet through a door. Now the big parties could pay the postmen to put it through,
Yeah.
and I know you spoke to, I think it was Alex, about the disparity in
Yes.
independents and parties. They spend millions of pounds on campaigns, and there's no getting away from that. I had a budget. I think I spent £1,400, which is a lot for an independent candidate. That is a lot. But I was sat in my house with my phone, sitting in this chair, talking to people, and I was getting leaflets from all of the three major parties. The Conservatives, Labour, and Plaid Cymru were throwing out leaflets, which I couldn't do. At the moment that I could deliver leaflets, I started to deliver leaflets, but I wasn't allowed to canvass. So again, I used this phone because I couldn't knock doors and talk to people. I wasn't allowed to. So I had to work around guidelines, restrictions, and all of those things. But you know what? Look, I had the time of my life doing that. Honestly, I loved it. I lost over a stone in weight. I walked 500,000 steps in 4 or 5 weeks. There's a live video of me stepping on the blackthorn talking to Martin. I got bitten by a dog when I was putting a leaflet through a letterbox in Porthcawl. I loved it. And we've spoken about the rough and tumble of politics. There was some rubbish that was going on in the background. There were a couple of fake Twitter and Facebook profiles set up, some to have a go at me, some to have a go at the Labour candidate. I didn't.
You've gone on mute. You've gone to mute. Hello? You've gone mute. I can't hear you.
Hang on.
Ah, there we go. I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry. Somebody was phoning me, Luke. I do apologise about that.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I didn't take any notice of it. I enjoyed the campaign for what it was. I enjoyed the stone that I lost. I wish I could have taken part in hustings. I wish I could have spoken to more people on the doorstep. For an hour and a half, I had got the largest voter share of an independent in the history of the Senedd. The council leader from Blaenau Gwent, I think, beat me an hour and a half later. But I'm not, for my first attempt, I loved it. I had some amazing people come out and help me. I was in a fortunate position because I was on paid leave as such because I was working in the Welsh government and COVID hit. I didn't take any of my annual leave entitlements. I
Mm.
worked every day here, so I then had a huge amount of leave at the end of my contract, so I took that and I had a great time. And that'll be in the history books forever. I think I was 46 votes or 45 votes behind the Plaid Cymru candidate, which isn't a knock on the
No.
Plaid Cymru candidate, but I went up against the National Party of Wales in a Welsh parliamentary election and got within a whisker.
Yeah.
Um, and I had an amazing time. And is a constituency seat winnable in a national election with our current setup? Probably not. There's too much against you. You've given me the plaudits. I've said I did the best ever in 21 years. I lost by 9,000 votes, Luke.
Yeah. Well, I know. Um,
I can spin this any way I want. I got walloped,
I,
and I got walloped by a good candidate, but I don't think I was 9,000 votes worse, but I lost by 9,000 votes.
yeah.
And that kind of mountain, when I was out delivering leaflets, party leaders had national television coverage. They get national radio coverage. They get newspaper inches. I didn't get any of that. I was fighting from underneath. I gave it the best I have. Um, as I said, other people were arguing about me. Other people were making stupid comments about me. I didn't engage in any of it. I ran a positive campaign and I asked everybody around me to join me on a positive campaign. And I got walloped.
Oh, well, I think you can hold your head high. You did well. You did very well. Yes, you did get walloped by 9,000 votes, but you didn't have a leader of a party turning up to your constituency going, vote for this candidate. A leader
Yeah,
of not just your local National Party in Wales, but from Westminster as well.
absolutely.
So they really ran it out, and you can't compete with that when you're an independent, and that is a problem. Something does have to
I, I,
change.
I did something that no independent candidate's ever done in this area, at least. I got two leaflets out to every single house.
I thought you were going
I
to say
had,
step on a blackthorn.
oh, I did. Oh, that was so. I go back and I watch that because, like, 10 seconds earlier, I don't feel safe. And it's like, oh! And then Marcy says, oh, have you tangled your wire? No, I got a thorn in my foot. Anyway, no, I managed to get two leaflets to every single house in the area. One of them was delivered for free by Royal Mail, which is a
Yeah.
service that they offer. The other one was hand delivered to 36,000 houses by myself or three or four other people who helped me.
I did offer, you
But
just didn't call me.
well, it just got crazy, Luke.
I know.
Honestly.
And with COVID, and I would have had to
But
take
yeah,
public
exactly.
transport.
But the Labour and the Conservative and the Plaid Cymru leaflets. I had seven or eight of them,
Mm.
and that does make a difference. I went to Royal Mail and I said, well, look, I had fantastic people who put money into backing me, and I had a pot of money. I could have printed a third leaflet, perhaps, possibly. I was on a roll at the time, and I thought I might dip into my own pocket, and I thought, well, I could do a third leaflet. There's no way I can hand deliver them because I was still delivering the first leaflet the day before the election. So I went to Royal Mail and I said, well, if I gave this to you and you've done the free one, if I paid you to deliver another one, how much would that be? 12 grand, £12,000.
For
Now, for
36,000 votes.
36,000 leaflets. So that's what has to change in democracy. What was I the best candidate? In my opinion, yes. In other people's opinion, no. Was I 9,000 worse than another person? I don't think so. But there were people within the constituency who'd never heard of me, who don't know who I am, didn't know my policies, and I wasn't able to deliver that to them for them to consider me. I'm not saying they would have voted for me, but there were people, and I've got a good profile in Bridgend, but the area as it stands, I know
Yeah.
Ian spoke about the boundary review. There's people in North Kennelly who've never heard of me, Luke. And
Yeah.
and and there's there's no mechanism for me to deliver my manifesto to them. There were no hustings where I could have spoken to a room of maybe 50 of them, but even that's not going to make a big difference. I'm not allowed on the telly. I mean, they gave a podium to the guy from Abolish the Senate. You know, on what basis he had a mandate to speak on national television? I got more. Do you know what? I got more votes than the Abolish the Senate did in 6 or 7 constituencies combined. So how the BBC can decide they get a platform and I don't is beyond me. But you don't. As an independent, you don't get a platform. But what we have to do as independents is build upwards. What we
Yeah,
need to do is we've proven in the first 5 years we've proven what independents can do at the ground level.
yeah.
The next target is to get enough independents in BCBC to make a real difference and to show people that what we're saying can be delivered. And it won't always be about all independents voting the same way in BCBC. It's about
No.
consensus of opinion and working for the people. Then we go and we start sorting out what we believe are the problems in BCBC. Then you look at another Senate campaign from there when people can see in reality, because the guy who beat me in Blaenau Gwent is the independent leader of the local authority there.
Yeah.
And they're proving what can be done. And that's how you change democracy. It's the hard yards and it's generations away. But trust me, it's doable.
When you mentioned that you thought, you said people didn't know who you were, even in in Kennelly place. It reminded me of Tory Boy that not many people in Middlesbrough knew who Sir Stuart Bell was, their MP for the last 20 odd
But
years.
again,
But yet,
going back to another scene where that I can't remember the guy who does the documentary, but he goes into a shop and he says,
yeah,
"Do you know who Stuart Bell is? Oh, he's that idiot that lives over in Paris and never comes here. So you
yeah,
won't. Oh, I'll vote for him though, because my dad always voted for them."
yeah.
It's a must watch, probably for just anoraks like us. It's probably not a mainstream thing that people would care for. It's probably the equivalent of Love Island to many people,
I,
but
I,
it shows the frustrations.
I don't think it should be just for anoraks. I think genuinely ordinary people could get enjoyment and information from what that documentary was. I think it was great. He did set out to make the documentary he did, and then
No,
it's currently on Amazon Prime.
it is.
I'm plugging everything today, and I'm getting
Exactly.
nothing
I hope
for.
you're on a. I hope you're on a
I'm getting nothing
commission.
for any of
I
this.
I watched the documentary after my campaign. I really wish I'd made something similar. Not
Yeah,
not in the kind of production way. I
yeah,
wish I'd documented it because there are highs and lows in a campaign. There are days when you feel, yeah, look, Luke. A couple of days before, I genuinely thought I could win it,
mm,
and then I got walloped by 9,000. So it shows how. But you have your ups and your downs, and running in a Senate campaign and running in a council by-election, it's all the same. And you
yeah.
get your ups and your downs, and you get your good days and you get your bad days. Um, and it's about trying to have more good days than bad, and it's about trying to remember.
It's
I
remembering
don't.
why
I,
you're
I
doing
honestly
it.
don't know what would. I honestly don't know what would have happened if I had one because it had never been done before. Martin Bell is the only real independent. I mean,
Yeah,
there was a Welsh parliamentary lady who was voted as an independent, but there's more in the backstory. She was married to a Labour
yeah.
MS, and it it's difficult, but I loved it. I walked into a pub, and I'm not saying this for the wrong reasons. I walked into a pub after the count, and again, it was COVID restrictions. We've got to try and remember back. It was a beautiful sunny day. I walked into a
In
beer
Coity,
garden.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I know, but
Quite.
we went to the Bells and we
Yeah.
sat outside. And I'm not saying this for effect, Luke. I'm getting goosebumps now. The entire beer garden got up and applauded, and I nearly cried. Because again, I got walloped by 9. You don't clap a football team off when they've lost 9-0. But I was really proud of what I achieved. And some very learned political people came up to me after the count and did congratulate me on a good campaign. And it is one for the history books. I've kept all of my leaflets. I've got all of my videos. Um, and I hope I achieved something. I hope politics and voting is about habit.
Yeah.
And I hope that some people on that election voted independent for the first time, and they broke their habit of always voting the same
Yeah.
way. because as you say, it was a 3,000 gain, and when we're in this game, we look at swings and we look at. I had a swing vote of over 3,000, which is unheard of. It was the first time that 16s could vote, and 16s do tend to go towards Labour or Plaid Cymru,
Yeah.
and both of those having a wider audience actually lost a vote. So this isn't about taking votes away from Labour. What I'm saying is that the independent movement in Bridgend gained a lot of traction in that
Yeah.
campaign, and I'll look back on that with a lot of pride. I got walloped, but I also walloped Abolish. I walloped the sitting MS who stood as an independent. I walloped the Lib Dems. I walloped lots of people myself. Um, and I mean that in a respectful way as well. In the same way I say I got walloped. Um,
Yeah.
I finished fourth out of nine. And don't forget, again, going back to trolling, I put £500 of my own money up as a deposit on that, and I was told I wouldn't get it back. And you got to get 5% to get your deposit back, and I got 10.
Well, there we go.
So people said I wouldn't get 5%, and I doubled it. In my heart of hearts, I hoped for 2,000. On the day, I thought I got 2.5. To break three, I was really proud of that.
Okay then. So, very last question: are you going to stand
Yeah,
again next time? Oh, even before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that quick enough for you? Yeah.
Yeah. Even before I finish it, would you consider Parliament though?
No.
No. Local
No.
politics. It seems to what I find with councillors,
You
local
you
politics
you
is more important.
you discussed this with Ian last week over
Yeah.
the stupid boundary commission. I'll tell you now. Go to the bookies. You're going to get whatever thing. The way it's being divvied out. I'm sorry, Jamie Wallace is going to be a one-term MP. The way that the proposal is there, you've got an amalgamation of Bridgend, Aberavon, and my state. Well, what's it called? Ogmore.
Oh,
You've
oh,
got two of the safest seats for Labour in Wales merging
yeah.
with a third. There will be two Labour MPs in the next general election. So for whatever happens here, that's not a political statement. It's a statement of fact. It's the two of the safest seats. So sorry, there's. I don't think I'd like to be an MP either. Commons is too stuffy for me. The Senate's a nice building, and I can see more powers coming to Wales. But no, what Senedd in 5 years, 4.5 years, I don't know. But not as an MP.
That's great. Okay, right. I've got to say this before I go because my son keeps telling me you don't say it down. Please like, share, and subscribe. I've got a little story about my subscriptions on YouTube. I have four.
Okay, go on.
I have four subscriptions on YouTube, which I'm really proud of. I know it's only four, and it's not a big
I
thing.
tried, but I followed the Facebook link, which takes me through to a different YouTube landing page. So when it says subscribe, I got to log in. I'll do it. I'll do it through YouTube.
No,
All right.
it's okay. I was taking my son to a drum lesson on Wednesday, and I said, I'm really proud. I had nearly 100 views on Ian's video since Saturday, which
Yeah.
by far and away the highest so far, which is great. And thank you everybody for doing that. And I said to him, I've got four subscriptions. Unfortunately, one of them is myself. And he goes, yeah.
That's fine.
And he goes, yeah, I'm two of them. And I said, oh, so I've got four subscriptions. Three of them are from this car with two people because he's subscribed to my
I
page.
think I know who the other one might be, but I won't name them publicly.
I think it might be Martin because
That's what I was going to go with.
I'll give it to Martin. He has been very supportive of me in this endeavour, and as yourself and
Well, the thing is, I was stuck
people.
then because Martin referred to me in his thing, but he refused to name me, so I was going to do the same thing back. But there you go.
Well, I'll refer to Martin because.
And he's going to watch this right till the very end through your rant, and he'll like this now.
Yes, I think I upset him the other day, and I apologised to him. And that, but
do you know? There's a really quick story. Do you know how I met Martin? I met him in a Facebook Messenger group because we were the only two lonely idiots still awake at 4:30 in the morning watching a count on BBC One. He thinks it was Brexit. I think it was a by-election.
That would have been 2016. So it'd be
I,
Brexit.
my timelines are all over the place, but I made contact with Matt and I've gone back and I've looked at the first message because he was just being elected to Coity, and I sent him a message. You up? What are you making of this vote then?
See,
And
I
then a
would have been up as well,
beautiful
but I wasn't
friendship
on.
was born.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us today, and thank you, Stephen, for giving me your time and letting me rant when this is an interview about yourself, and I had my rant.
And don't forget, end it with like, share, and subscribe.
I don't need to. You already did.
Have a lovely evening, Luke, and keep
I
doing what you're doing.
thank you. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.